Bonjour, everyone. We are live.
Shalom.
This episode might be short because I burned my throat the other day and talking is irritating my throat. So, short meaning like an hour and a half.
Maybe it was
That's why my name is Parking Lot Demon.
Parking lot.
My name is. Yeah, just like Nancy Reagan.
Jesus Christ.
I love that joke because I don't respect her.
I don't respect her.
Yeah. Nobody. Well, I mean, you don't have to anymore because she's dead. But
you have to respect people when they're alive?
Well, no, but you especially don't have to when they're dead.
I'm gonna find my good mic, but
okay.
In the meantime, what is up, folks? How are we doing today?
I'm doing well. I just watched that episode of Star Trek where the fucking energy being, or rather the cheap optical effect gets on the ship and is making them and the Klingons fight and all that shit.
Oh. I cannot stand old Klingons, but we've been over that.
Yeah, they do look weird without the head ridges, don't they?
They just feel like humans with extra steps.
Yeah, they hadn't fine-tuned the kinks of how the Klingon society works, so they instead just come across as like meaner Federation guys.
It's like, oh, authoritarianism is bad, and we have the same rules for everyone everywhere, and that's cool. I like Star Trek to get to different level beings where we have to comprehend them differently. I think sci-fi is better that way.
Yeah, I was just talking to a friend of mine, and I was saying how Star Trek is better when it keeps the fight scenes to a minimum.
Huh.
Well, not fight scenes, like a little like scuffle between interpersonal, like, you know, Kirk fighting some Klingon guys on a planet. That's one thing. But I fucking hate, like, especially with newer Trek from like the 90s onward, when they start having like the massive fucking armada battles in space and all that.
Huh. Don't
like
you
well
nation
go ahead.
When you about money?
Wait, what'd you say?
If we don't care about money because we're in the Federation, isn't this just the culmination?
Well, I'm not talking in terms of like if it happens occasionally, it works. Like it works when Wrath of Khan does it. It works to a lesser extent when First Contact does it. But like then Insurrection and Nemesis then both also have massive battles where half the fucking crew dies and
Fair. I mean,
like I mean I've told you this before. Other than First Contact, I hate the next gen movies. Like the other three. First Contact skirts by a little bit for several reasons, but it's still like not my favorite. But part of why I hate particularly Insurrection and Nemesis is because Picard's whole thing is that he's the diplomat, he doesn't want to use violence, and also if he loses a single crew member, he's inconsolable. But then in fucking both Insurrection and especially Nemesis, oh, there's another review.
What?
Yeah, like are you using two devices?
What's happening?
There we go. There you are. Nice. Yeah, so in Insurrection and in particularly Nemesis, first of all, they've got acting like, and second, like, there we go.
You keep cutting out on my end.
You there? Hang on. I can hear you. You gonna fucking work now, StreamYard? There you go. Yeah, so in Nemesis in particular, like half his fucking crew dies and he doesn't seem to care.
Calling Picard a diplomat is something I don't necessarily agree with.
Okay.
I
Lay
would
it on me.
more lean to the idea that he is a strict by the books captain. He does seem okay with the Federation's rules on conflict. He just can't go outside of them. It kind of feels
it's not
like
that he never uses force.
this might be a hindsight recoloring the situation. But if we consider Picard's background and his history from what everyone says about him, he might
like getting
always
stabbed and all that.
Well, he gets stabbed in a bar fight. He argues with everyone that he's ever been in school with. If you talk to people who went to school with Kirk, they say he was a nice student, he was really good at his job, and he helped me out on my project. If you talk to someone who went to school with Picard, they're like, he was running a still out the back of the school. He beat me up one time, and I don't know why, but I think he was involved with pirates.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. It's like the opposite of their respective public perceptions.
It leads me to consider the idea that the officer version of Picard is more of a containment. Like,
yeah, kind of.
He made rules to make sure he would not be himself.
Yeah, and that's why First Contact I sort of like, because it's the only one where him acting way out of character makes sense in the context of the plot.
Well, I just think he reminds me of the kid in school who would stretch a rule in a book he could find that was obscure and archaic but applicable as far as it could go. Well, technically I can do this, ma'am.
Yeah.
But Kirk seems like the type to break a rule because it's a bad moral thing. Is that a diplomat or is that just the kid from Recess?
Well, Picard in general, like, I mean, not that Kirk was a fucking, like, because people perceive Kirk as like a cowboy, but if you watch the fucking show, not really.
I think he's a cowboy with regards to the Prime Directive.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true too, but that's true of every Star Trek captain, let's be real here.
I think that is why Picard is Picard. He has actually gone to things. He's like, this is terrible. This is morally wrong. But the Prime Directive says I can't do anything. So I'm going to report this to Starfleet and I'm going to go home.
Yeah.
That's happened.
Yeah, he does the right thing, quote unquote. But like,
he does right according to rules set for him. Kirk does the right thing according to rules he sets.
Exactly. Like with Picard, like if we're talking deaths of the crew were comparatively rare on Next Gen compared to TOS. And when they happened, Picard took them really hard.
Okay, TOS deaths, we have what's her name? Wait, no, that's the one on Next Gen. That's the one we have.
Yeah,
right?
no, I meant like red shirts dying.
Oh, those aren't people.
Well, yeah, like Kirk, I mean, obviously Kirk gets upset, but like the episode still ends happily despite the death of a red shirt. Whereas Picard, like, if a single crew member dies, he's inconsolable for the rest of the fucking episode.
You know, I'm gonna have to double check.
But then, but then in the fucking again, First Contact is different. Insurrection and Nemesis, in both of those movies, he loses like half his fucking crew. And then at the end, he's like still smiling and joking around with Riker like it never happened.
I mean, movie writing's just bad.
Like, there's a scene in Nemesis where the fucking windshield of the bridge gets blown out and like 30 fucking crew members get sucked out into space right in front of Picard. He doesn't really care. The movie still ends happy.
I mean, Star Trek doesn't always have perfect morals.
Well, yeah.
I'll
And I
point
don't
to the most obvious thing.
Which one?
So, do you remember the deck on Next Gen that you've never seen?
No.
I'm probably gonna mess this word up. Cetaceous unit or the Cetaceous deck.
Do you know how to spell that?
I want to say Cetaceous.
Cetacean Ops.
Yes. Oh, I
Cetacean
actually
Ops was a facility.
Hello?
What'd you say there? I missed your last thing.
I just couldn't hear
Yeah,
you read.
I'm here.
Oh, but I said, oh, I actually got it right for once.
Yeah. Okay. So like the aquarium room, basically.
No. Read more. Or rather, just put it on screen for the folks.
Responsible for the. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it was a. It was responsible for the ship's navigation that generally contained an aquarium so as to simulate the natural habitat of. Okay.
Are you
So
getting
why
it
do you
yet?
bring this up? That
This
they.
is the deck of dolphins that run navigation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dolphins
Okay.
run navigation on the ship. And I mean,
Okay. Yeah.
having dolphins in Starfleet is itself inherently immoral, but we still do it because dolphins are evil.
Why is it immoral?
Dolphins are evil.
What dolphins? Other than like the rape.
Okay.
Dolphins don't have sexual consent. Yeah, but other than that.
Okay. So like they gang up and go and beat up random organisms and animals in the ocean and leave them for dead. This is just a fun activity for them. They go and consume blowfish and get intoxicated, and they commit sexual crimes on their own species as well as others. So it's not even like
Yeah,
a
including
consented
humans
deal.
if you'll let them.
They are humans in the water. They're humans in the water.
Yeah.
I don't trust them. Look what they did to Hank Hill.
That's true. You're not wrong. Yeah, Star Trek is it's weird like that, I guess.
I mean, you haven't seen them yet. That's one of the greatest jokes of Lower Decks. Is they're like, we finally did it, folks. We brought you the dolphins because we can.
So is that a Star Trek 4 reference? Because they had to use the dolphins in Star Trek 4?
No,
Or that was whales?
no. They like they're just a permanent part of I think the Enterprise.
Okay.
They just get brought
Yeah,
up.
because I know that like they needed the whales to communicate.
I think the idea is someone thought that dolphins are the future, and we'll be talking because they read what do you call it, 42.
Oh, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah. Yeah, they read that, said so long, thanks for the fish, and we're putting dolphins in Star Trek now. But you can't actually put a dolphin in Star Trek, so you just talk about it occasionally, which is really funny.
Well, you remember the speaking of Star Trek 4, do you remember the boombox guy on the bus in that movie?
What is your connection going through? Like what blender?
Oh, I don't know. Fucking
Because it was on both devices too. I mean, I don't know exactly how many things Star Trek references and then doesn't show, but that is the love-hate relationship we all have to have with old sci-fi. But then you have Stargate, And they just
Um,
threw it at the wall and said, "We'll try."
Come on, Verizon.
While he's suffering with Verizon, I'm just gonna throw out here. Eventually,
Now
we
it
are
should-
going to shift to Stargate,
Nope,
and
fuck
we will
me.
be talking about the extensive lore that is humans across the universe, and not just a bunch of species across the universe.
Good. We good now, Verizon?
Which do you prefer? I don't know.
Ah, shit, I lost
I
Mirror
am-
Universe.
I am partial to humans being all across the universe when we get
Why?
a little more depth of the culture. But at the same time, you can have a good interplay of what it means to be human with the other fictional cultures. Obviously, you got to think every alien fictional culture is really just humanity represented through another lens of an artist, but it's a lens that feels foreign, feels alien enough that they put it that way. And that has to count for something.
Why the fuck are there two of me on screen now?
We are both doing mirror universes today.
There we
huh?
go. Okay, so what were you saying about aliens?
Oh, well, so do you prefer when you have a sci-fi with a lot of different alien species, say a Star Trek, Star Wars style,
Yeah.
where you have these fictional aliens, but realistically, we've never met any aliens. These are all just humanity's viewpoints on what it means to be alien, but it's all just lenses of us. Or do you like when you have, say, like a Warhammer, an Ender's Game, something where humanity is the only thing, but we're so far spread out that you can really examine the different parts of humanity in a more literal sense?
It depends, because like Dune would not be added, would not be made better by the addition of aliens, but like Star Trek without aliens would be weird.
That's fair. I mean, have we ever even talked Ender's Game here?
I've never actually read Ender's Game. I kept meaning to and then not doing it.
Well, how do you feel about spoilers?
No, go ahead. I know that I know some of the twists.
All right, folks, we're going to consider this a spoiler zone for Ender's Game. If you've watched the movie, you already got the big spoiler, unfortunately, and that wasn't me fucking you. So
Yeah.
you're gonna feel a lot better about this. Let's try to explain this a little more rationally than the movie can.
Also, speaking of that movie, I love when Harrison Ford gets dragged into a slop movie and then still has to do his best.
What they did with that did not. If I remember correctly, he's supposed to be something Rackham.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know he was in it. I never actually saw it.
I almost wanted to call him Zaphod Beazelbrox, but that's the other thing.
Yeah.
Ender's Game. Imagine you're just in a normal world that we're in. Let's assume COVID didn't happen just for ease of conversation, but it doesn't really affect much.
Oh, I wish. Dude, I wish COVID had never happened.
So, day to day, aliens show up. Oh, fuck, we got invaded like it's a 1950s movie. Oh, no. So what do? Well, we send out the planes and we send up the nukes and we start fucking shit up, right? Nah, they're getting smacked out the sky like they're flies. We are just not doing well today.
The aliens are called buggers.
Yeah.
I can tell that Orson Scott Card isn't British. Because bugger means something else in England.
Yeah, but I mean, similarities happen. I don't know what to tell you.
Also, that's just funny knowing that Orson Scott Card is like a raging fucking homophobe.
I really take the word buggers to be like as offensive of a term as they could come up with.
Oh my god, he's a fucking great great grandson of Brigham Young? What
Really?
the fuck?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, look at this. He's fucking Brigham Young's great great grandson. What the fuck?
Okay, here's some interesting food for thought.
Okay.
You can be the kid of a Mormon and be Orson Scott Card and write stuff, or you can be the kid of a Mormon and be Stephanie Meyer and write Twilight.
That is true. He may be a fucking raging homophobe, but at least his books are okay.
That I'm just saying. At some point, I have to enjoy. It's a good book, and everyone sucks, so I can say from the book what I want.
Yeah, I mean Frank Herbert was also super homophobic, and I love the Dune books. So,
I mean, yeah, people suck. So, but also Bugger, double G, ER. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's meant to be offensive, and I like it.
I took that earlier when I was watching it.
Let's have you keep trying to keep the meme reactions up. I like this part.
Yeah.
This is fun. So, a bunch of fucking aliens attack, and we're losing. We're sending up ships, we're sending up nukes, and we're all failing on all sides. So as a last ditch, we're like, all right, just send it all. If we're gonna die, we're gonna die. We're going Godzilla style. And weirdly, some guy in New Zealand, some weird motherfucking fighter pilot in New Zealand, hits the bank shot on this big ship. He sees this big ship. He goes, I need to get it. I need to get it. I'm going to get it. And if I remember correctly, he goes, screw it. I'll just hit it myself. And so he goes, Independence Day, launches into it.
I was just thinking of that. Hey, boys, I'm back.
And he ejects at the last second. Good for him. So, boom. Oh, I might have spoiled with the ejecting, but like I said, we're doing spoilers.
Yeah.
All the ships fall from the sky.
Oh, like Phantom Menace, hit the brain ship and it all. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Phantom Menace, Avengers, whatever you call that trope.
Yeah, so we go, oh, okay. Wow, we got lucky there. I think we get it, but this is terrifying. Never again. And within a stone's throw of time, the world government is formed.
Okay.
And the world government is like, we're doing eugenics.
Oh, goody. Always great when the government says that.
We're doing, we are making arranged marriages. You are having a certain amount of kids, not too many, not too little. You're Goldilocksing for us. We're going to plan out the jobs, and we're going to plan out the generations. And we're going to just make armies and armies and armies and send them out and find wherever they are, chase them back, and get them. Because they're going to come to us. They got to be coming back. And so we raise generations. You only get 2 kids, though. It's kind of like China. That's the reference.
I was about to say China style.
China style. But one family has 3 kids.
Is that Enders?
That is indeed Enders.
Okay.
Remember I said Goldilocks?
Yeah.
Enders' family with the kids is the epitome of Goldilocks.
Yeah, one's too. I'm reading that right now. His brother's evil, his sister's good, and he's just right.
Well, to call him evil is a little bit of an oversimplification. He's too aggressive.
Okay, yeah.
He's too violent. He's too much for what we want. Because what we want is to make the next. We have Caesar, we have Napoleon, we have Alexander. We need to combine every great part we've ever had and send him. He needs to win for us. He needs to lead us.
Yeah, he needs to be the Kwisatz Haderach.
And so that's what this family has the perfect genetics for.
I'm seeing the influences here.
You're seeing how this bled into a lot of things, aren't you?
No, well, the opposite. I'm seeing that he was clearly taking influence from Dune.
Yeah, but like, what doesn't? Come
Oh
on.
yeah, I'm not like judging. I'm just saying.
What doesn't? To be fair, also, this is pretty old, so it's like the guy just read a book and enjoyed it. Good for him. So, like I said, Peter is a bit too much.
Yeah.
He bullies the two younger siblings, the middle one being Valentine, and the youngest being Ender. Now, being the third, that's what you get bullied to school for.
Yeah.
And so, one day, Ender gets his call. His microchip in his head, story, Deus Ex Machina, yada yada, activates.
Yeah.
It's time for him to go from normal school to whatever your job is.
Battle school.
Well, in his case, battle
Yeah.
school. But not everyone gets battle school. And so it's the last day, and his bullies are like, "Oh, we're about to fuck him up. It is time." Ender is not a fan of this idea.
Naturally.
So I forget the exact details, but he disables the leader boy and beats his fucking head in a bathroom in front of like 5 others so he doesn't get jumped.
Yeah, according to Wikipedia, the bully dies from what he fucking does later on.
Well, that's the fun of it. Old boy did not know until later. He's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
what? I was already a murderer?" Yep. That's okay, bud. You were like 7 and you killed a guy. You can just move on.
I'm going to tell you something about that when you're done.
Now, battle school is fun because they make everyone hate him. They torture this guy. They do every psychological trick that we've all seen in all these movies and books in the book. And they slowly mold this mind. Oh, you can move in 3 directions type shit. Oh, you can do this. And with all these growths, all these slow acknowledgments combined with this pressure, we got superb general. All right, time for battle school part 2. You're going to go and do these simulations, battle simulations. And you're pretty much playing a video game.
I know where this is going.
And you got to win.
I know exactly where this is going.
So you're playing this game and you're fucking them up. And you're fucking them up. And you're fucking them up. Like, and you're doing really good. And like at a certain point, they're like, all right, we think you're ready for Battle School Part 3. Now, we brought in a teacher for you. Remember the ejection guy from the beginning of the story? Well, we've done one of my favorite tropes in sci-fi ever. Gravity time bullshit.
Oh. So is he like unnaturally old or something?
The opposite. So,
oh, okay.
Aliens attacked the Earth, like, from Ender's point of view, about like 200 years ago.
Oh, and he's still alive because of time dilation. What the fuck?
The moment he ejected and they got him back, they're like, all right, fuck. And part of this plan of getting all these generations is we're going to put you on the fastest ship we have right now. And we're going to send you around pretty much a black hole.
Time dilation, baby.
Time dilation, baby. We'll see you later. Don't worry about it. Someone will talk to you. And so Ender's here, and they call him up, and they're like, it's time. And he's like, all right, so like, what am I doing? Like, you're going to teach this kid. So now he's working with Super Soldier Supreme. And he's beating more simulations, Amidst this, dude starts getting weird dreams and experiences some weird psychic energy. It's hard to explain, but he's such a rational dude, he knows it's abstract from his normal life.
Whoa! Hey, sorry, I didn't know that Safari could do split view tabs now. All right, that's cool.
What?
Anyway, continue.
So, it starts with like a random personality test they're giving him while they're testing him, because obviously you got to make sure he's mentally where you want him.
Yeah.
And as they're guiding him through a bunch of pretty much AI game bullshit.
Sorry, I just wanted to know if Harrison Ford was playing the guy you're talking about because that
I think
guy's
so.
Maori. No, he played a different guy. I just wanted to know because in the book, apparently he's described as being Maori, and I just wanted to know if they cast a white guy.
I thought they did.
Well, they cast Ben Kingsley, who is not Maori, but he is half Indian, so it's not quite.
That's
the
what
same
they
thing.
did. Yeah.
Like, it's still stupid, but, you know.
I remember thinking this character is not. That's not. No. But yeah, okay. So that's who. Oh, Harrison Ford is one of his teachers.
Yeah, I knew that because I'd seen him in the trailers back when the movie came out, but
So, as he's getting all these telekinetic visions and everything, slowly in his dreams and experiencing them through these simulations, he's just starting to think to himself, why am I doing this? Like, are we sure about this, guys?
this sounds a little like The Giver, which is not a bad thing.
No, it's very... It needs to get more credit than it does because it's more introspective. It's mostly focused on in the Caesar part. But a lot of this is Ender going, what am I here? Like, like, what are we? Who's the good guy? How are we experiencing this? But I'm going to keep fighting because that's what I'm here to do. I'm in battle school, bro. I miss my sister and I want to go home, but I'm in battle school, bro.
Yeah.
And from what I've heard, my sister don't answer any of my letters, so fuck.
Oh man, the fucking movie was directed by the same guy who did X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Does that give you a good idea of what we did here?
Yep.
I mean, how? Because I'm speed running really fast, but it's still better than the fucking movie. Now, here's where it gets fun. You are just doing your simulations again, day after day. You like have your little kid army of officers. You have them all on the bridge with you working. You gained hard experience and earned their respect by and by. You faced all the adversity, and like you're doing simulations day after day now. It's just kind of like a clean machine. And then one day, after you finish your homework, all the adults start cheering.
Oh god, I know what you're about to say.
And you're like, what? And they're like, you did it. And you're like, it's kind of weird reacting this way about a simulation. And the big guy who's been psychologically manipulating you this whole time walks out and he's like, my boy, you won a war. You did it. Thanks.
I know what you're about to say.
You did it. And Ender goes, what do you mean? You haven't been fighting simulations since I brought that guy out the goddamn, like, well. He's been watching you, making sure these fights work.
I knew it. I fucking called it, man.
Sorry, like, but yeah, I didn't want to put the burden of killing people on a child. I needed a child to kill people.
Have you read the book Armada by Ernest Cline?
I haven't. Here's the thing, though. You might think to yourself, this is the end of a story like this.
It is not.
It's not. In a very interesting way. So he gets some more psychological visions. And he's like, what the fuck? I killed them all. Like, how is this happening?
Yeah.
Clearly, I've been like he's realized by now. Okay, I've been talking with the hive mind leader that we've been killing. So think ants.
Okay.
Or bees. You can have multiple queens. I mean, like, there isn't only one queen bee in the world, but you don't have them on top of each other. So you've killed the entire species. except for one queen. You've literally blown up our home world. Like you took us out. But there is one egg of a queen left on this one desolate planet that we hid over in Bumfuck. We're only telling you about this through a psychic message. You gotta take care of that now, Ender.
And
now
so
that's
I know there's sequels to the book. Is that where they come in?
yeah, that's a lot of that's just about what he does with that.
Okay.
Then you also have his siblings. They did not just not do anything. I will end with this fun little bit of info. The brother just runs the entire Earth government now.
Okay.
Dude was useful for something.
Well, you
Yeah,
do need sociopaths in politics, you know.
We need an autocrat, apparently. He's the fit. Surprisingly, though, he's really good at the job, not in the vicious way.
Okay.
Seems like he really just likes to bully his family the more you look at it. I don't know. Might be more to it. Read the book. The sister does something that I think you'll enjoy. Remember how I said we like to do gravity games here?
Yeah.
So the sister is really fucking smart. Really an introvert, though.
Okay.
Imagine the world's best journalist who travels from world to world in pretty much cryosleep, using like gravity time nonsense.
Yeah, like fucking Alien or whatever.
Yeah, so I write a book here. I post it. I travel for a long while. 200 years later, another book comes out. It's written in the same style, same way. I keep this going for a long fucking time. Eventually, they think I'm a whole secret society.
Nice.
And I just find that really amusing.
So did you so you never read Armada, right?
Arpada?
Armada by Ernest Cline.
Yeah, no. I
It's the dude who wrote Ready Player One, which I know you fucking hate, so
you know, I was sitting here and I'm like, that name is itching a bad part of my brain.
So I like Armada better. Maybe you will as well. Anyway.
Now we have to talk about Ready Player One after.
So one thing in that book that is a little bit similar to Ender's Game is the whole disguising war as a video game thing.
I love that.
It's not as fucked up because it's not like kids in a government training program. It's literally a commercially sold video game that the audience doesn't know is training them for a real alien invasion.
So Call of Duty with extra steps.
Well, like sci-fi Call of Duty. Like it's a Call of Duty, or it's a sci-fi video game, like flying in ships and shit.
Oh, okay. So if Halo was doing the same thing that Call of Duty was meant for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind
of weird that that's a thing.
Yeah, so what it is, it's mostly based on fucking Last Starfighter, which is a movie from the 80s that has the same concept. So what it is that the government has secretly known about aliens for decades and has been prepping themselves and American culture for aliens, including secretly funneling money to sci-fi movies and like books and fiction and shit.
Oh, it's the conspiracy theorist dream. It's Alex Jones's best friend. Oh,
yeah,
the
literally.
globalists are actually telling you the truth, but they're telling it through the media.
Yeah, like they literally mentioned that like Star Wars, the original, was in part secretly funded by the U.S. government, but it was done through so many back channels that George Lucas himself had no idea.
I hate this.
Yeah, I know. It's just No, look, the purpose of this project was get people used to the idea of aliens so
Yeah,
that
yeah,
if
yeah.
they ever invade, we don't have to fucking hold their hand through it.
I hate that I get it just because that's literally the conspiracy theory on like why yada yada is real.
They actually did that in Paul as well. Did you ever see that movie?
Oh yeah, Bowie's not dead, isn't he? Isn't he?
I think that's a different movie because Bowie was still alive when Paul was made.
That's
Oh, it was Elvis. That was what he said.
no, it's Bowie. Look it up.
Oh, you're right. Fuck.
Look, yeah, no,
I do remember that. Okay. Because wasn't there a joke about how Elvis is alive in space or whatever? Or no, was that Men in
I
Black?
don't know that. I just know the whole joke is that
That was Men in
he
Black.
said something about David Bowie being dead. He's like, David Bowie isn't dead, and the alien just looks at him, isn't he?
Yeah.
Isn't he?
Well, I remember the whole scene where they ask him like, why does he look like a stereotypical alien? And he's like, because the government has been drip feeding you my likeness,
Yeah.
so that if we ever meet, you don't fucking freak out.
I hate that too many people believe that idea is true in our society. Like, oh, they live, it's real.
Yeah, Armada did it more. Oh yeah, here's Ender's Game being mentioned in fucking in the Wikipedia synopsis for Armada. Yeah,
Huh.
they did it a little more like altruistic, I want to say.
Everything Ernest Cline does is blindly altruistic.
Yeah, that is true. He
Like,
definitely
alright.
has a lot of faith in human beings, doesn't he? For better or worse.
Okay, he does, but he doesn't. Because we have to talk about it because you said the devil words.
Yeah, I actually do need to bring up Ready Player 2 a bit because I do not fucking get what people's issue was with that book.
I didn't finish it. I didn't finish the book.
Well, okay, let me rephrase. Everything people didn't like about Ready Player 2 was also present in the first, and they weren't bothered by it then.
I think it got highlighted. I think for the
Maybe a
audience, it
little,
got
but-
highlighted. Okay, no, let's talk about it. Ready Player One introduces literal slavery caste.
Yeah.
Not like, and like you can't get out once you do it, and it's not to the state; it's to a private organization,
Yeah, the IOI or whatever.
and they use them to mine mostly. And that's fucking insane. Now, you're telling me that, okay, our hero is from a trailer park. He's from the ghetto.
Yeah.
It's bad. He has an understanding of suffering. I want you to consider the fact that he moves on up to being rich and never fucking looks back to any of those people who were around him in that trailer park. Ever.
Okay, I do need to push back a little because the book does acknowledge that.
Eventually.
No, like right at the beginning of the second book. It does.
Yeah, well, that's because you get blowback from the first book.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, I mean, keep in mind this is less
Someone
true
called
in the
him out
movie.
for this. He's like, "Oh shit, I gotta type this up real quick."
Yeah, that's more defensible in the movie, but it is worth remembering that the book of Ready Player One ends about 10 minutes after the climax is over, so we don't really get to see any of what he does with his newfound money and power.
See, you're so right, but here's the thing, though: you get incremental large amounts of money throughout the contest. He, on multiple points, moves up in stature. At one point, buying the latest gear, going to this super neat like net cafe, and then moving to a super apartment where he has the latest chair delivered and installed inside of his like top tier view apartment.
You're right, but that's the thing that maybe people don't get is that Wade is kind of an asshole, and that's kind of on purpose.
Okay.
Like it's
Well-
on purpose that he's a selfish dickhead.
Okay, you know what? Maybe I can accept that. But then we try to give him this weird sort of fucking hero, like, he doesn't redeem himself in any way, shape, or form, according to that.
Well, he does in the second book, but yeah, not in the first book.
You shouldn't have to go to the second. Like that's
I
not.
I agree. I'm just saying, like, it's not like they never did anything with what you're saying.
I just feel like it's you get blowback about these problems, and you're like, oh, well, I'll just write a sequel. It's fine, and like, kind of.
Frankly, that was kind of what I liked about the second book was that it filled in some of the holes of shit I didn't like in the first.
How do you feel with the nerd fantasy?
You're gonna have to be way more specific.
Okay. I'm sad. I'm poor. I'm weak, and I have no friends. But I'm just really hip on the culture, and I just really like the same things this guy liked.
Yeah,
And,
okay. You are completely correct that Ready Player One might be the most self-indulgent book of all time. That doesn't make it a bad thing.
Okay, but you get to the end, and it's like, not only did I have this female love interest, my best friend was a girl all along. Dude, it was written by a guy who watches 10 isekai animes a fucking day.
The second book actually was, like, compared to Sword Art Online quite a bit, which I haven't watched, so maybe if I had, I'd also hate it, but...
I mean, he's already a Kirito in that you surround him with bitches, you make him always the hero. He can be a terrible person as much as he wants. We'll just find some weird way to validate it through, oh, well, he's like a loner, that's his character, yada, yada, yada. Like, and he's overly skilled in weird combat things. Can we also please remember that even when they translate this to the movie, they took this out completely. One of the challenges, this motherfucker can do the entirety of Ferris Bueller's Day Off word for word.
I think it was War Games, but yes.
If it
doesn't matter.
Either way, you're psychotic.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it might have been both. I think it was every Matthew Broderick. I
remember it was only one movie he had to do. So.
It was one we watched. I thought he mentioned doing others.
Later, yeah. But they weren't all Matthew Broderick. It was some other movie. I don't know. It's been like 10 fucking years.
He knows 80s movies word for word. I don't know what kind of... How can you... One.
Well, he's been obsessed with The Hunt for his whole life. Like...
He's obsessed with The Hunt, so he's supposed to be a super genius. And yet, if we're going to look at the first test, this is going to sound wild. Guys, this is crazy. Consider this. There is one planet that all of you can go to for free. Holiday told you at the beginning, hey, or Holloway, whatever the fuck his name is, this contest is open for everyone, and you're all going to have a fair try at it. How the fuck are you all not swarming the tutorial planet? Give this challenge to a forum of RuneScape players, and within 2 weeks, the entire thing would have been solved. This is nonsense.
I will say he does, if I remember correctly, acknowledge that when the challenge first started, the planet was indeed swarmed with everybody for the first couple of years, and that they gave up after thinking it wasn't on that planet. But that's a different form of silly.
It's still silly. It's still so clearly the option. I don't like when you give me something that's supposed to be a super deep, complicated puzzle. It's like, Dora, look behind you. Dora, the mountain's right there. Dora, you dumb bitch, it's right there. Stop asking me where it is.
The reason I brought this up is because the controversy about the trans character in that book was really fucking weird to me. And I don't mean controversy that she's there. I mean, people were mad about how she got treated by the book, but, like, she got treated fine by the book. It was whatever. Like, the only time her being trans is relevant is when in his inner monologue, he's kind of like, yeah, I used to be a fucking weirdo about it, but then I did all the weird, like, simulated memories thing, and now I'm not. Now, like, you don't have to like that, but, like, he wasn't being transphobic. His character was at one point transphobic.
Yeah, no, it's not that he's transphobic. I mean, granted, the fact that he has god tech and can essentially, like, he should just be a god, literally, with what he can do at this point. So, like, I don't even know how to feel about that.
Well, within the Oasis, he is.
And considering humanity, like as stated in the first book, most humanity spends most of their days in the Oasis. From a practicality standpoint, you are.
Yeah.
So, like, no shit, you're gonna grow as a person.
Well, yeah, specifically what it was that because of the new headsets that they have, that like they put you in, like, it's like jacking into the Matrix. And so with those headsets, you therefore can wear it while you do an experience and then upload the memory of it, and other people can live the memory, right?
I got that part. I was always confused with the new headsets because I don't know. It almost feels like in the first book I'm given VR, but in a way you've never imagined. It's so
very
real.
high tech VR.
It's so real, and then now they're like, it's realer than real.
Well, in the first book, it's really realistic looking and sounding VR, but like,
It's also feeling, right? Because he has like tactical stuff.
Well, he has the suit that means you can feel impacts, but that's like specialty tech. Like, that's not something most people have. But then in the second book, it's literally jacking into the Matrix. You can eat the food there. You can feel. You can do everything.
Yeah, but like with no surgery or nothing.
No, it like there's like nodes that you stick onto your head or whatever.
Sword Art Online bullshit.
Oh yeah, well that's why people accused it of that. But like he specifically talks about how because there's a million recordings of memories out there. Oh, here's what it's like to go surfing, or like it could be mundane stuff. He actually mentions that eventually curiosity got the better of him, and he did What's It Like to Overdose on Heroin, because that's how his fucking mom died, and he eventually just got too curious and he had to know what it was like.
Yeah, man, he's a god. Why not?
But so he mentions how because of those memories, he has memories of like the craziest sex shit you can imagine. He has memories of he can literally have lived memories of like, what is it like to have a hate crime committed against you?
No, see, this is where okay. So what I'm hearing is we have a white guy who has all the sexual experience ever, can do whatever he wants, and can now justify saying, "Nah, man, I understand how it feels." Fuck off.
Well, he does say, like, I get that it's not the real
bullshit.
thing. I just got a little taste of it. Like, he does
That's
say
a
that it's not
recipe
the
for
real thing.
bad. There's too many bad elements.
Anyway, the reason I bring that up is because, like, part of what got him over him being weird about trans people is that by doing the memory thing, he can literally know what it feels like to feel discomfort in your body. Because the headset doesn't just record what you see and hear, it literally records how you feel and then makes the viewer feel it.
I don't exactly understand that from a conceptual point of view, because, like, okay, if you were to show a knife to a stabbing victim and they feel fear, and then you record that, the guy's like, all right, I understand you're feeling fear, but he doesn't have the memories and experiences that fund the feelings themselves.
No, it's not the same thing. It is just a little taste of it, but like,
it feels like a simulacrum of it. Like, I don't know. Like,
well, it is. Anyway, the point is that like he has experienced trans people's memories of transness, so therefore he like feels it different, like he understands it more, I guess. I don't know. I get that it's like not the most nuanced take on it ever, but I didn't get why people felt it was transphobic.
Can't we just have empathy?
Well, that's what somebody says right here.
Like, do we have to make like these complicated? Wow, I really stepped into their sci-fi shoes.
Yeah. So here is a quote from Laura Hudson from Slate, who was saying that it has like sexist undertones.
Thank you.
There is the idea that after reliving the recorded memories of women, supposedly clueless men experience a moment of enlightenment and now realize that women are people. It never occurs to Wade that he also could have come to the same conclusion about Halliday's misogyny by using the greatest empathy machine of all, his brain, and running the program that is listening to other people and believing them about their experiences.
Yeah, it's almost like they're using technological crutches to justify this fucking shithead. I don't
True, but that's the thing. Wade is supposed to be an asshole. I don't
know,
think people
but,
got
like,
that.
Okay, but we can't make this weird idea that the way to fix an asshole is by some cancer curing ass tech. The way to fix an asshole is by him sitting down and going to therapy.
True. Or in this case, doing a technological version of it because he's afraid to go to therapy.
No, you should get over your fear and go to
No,
therapy.
I agree. I'm just saying. Like,
I don't know, but
I don't know. Like, I went into it understanding that Wade is not the best dude, and that's how you're supposed to interpret his actions and behaviors.
okay. See, this is where I'm gonna push back a little bit.
Okay.
It doesn't feel like the author exactly looks at it the way you are.
Oh, no, it's entirely possible he doesn't, but that doesn't mean that he didn't write what he wrote.
Yes, but I feel like with that in mind, I have to take some of these like some of these moments and put them under a different lens, where it's like it doesn't really feel like this guy is talking about really being woke or caring about these groups. It seems like I don't know, like it's like, oh, my grandfather used to say the N-word all the time. But then he got hypnotized, and now he's cool with black people. So we should just hypnotize everyone. No, your grandfather shouldn't need hypnotism to like black people. Like this entire thing is weird. I'm very glad that you had that quote, though. I agree with that 100%.
I wish I remembered why I opened the Wikipedia for John Dies at the End. There was something from that book I was going to talk about. It was some comparison to what we're discussing.
I wish it was Wade dies at the end.
Well, I mean, he might. I mean, everyone dies at the end eventually.
If I remember correctly, one of the things with Ready Player One was in the book, those two brothers aren't really brothers. One's from China and one's from Japan, right?
It might have been Japan and Korea, but yeah.
And then in the movie, they're just like, yeah, here's just two brothers.
Well, so to be fair, in the movie, they are still not actually brothers, but like metaphorically.
But they both speak the same language, I'm pretty sure.
I think the only time we see them talking is when they're speaking English.
Okay.
Because I do remember that the reason they changed the character's name from Shoto to Sho was because the actor they cast was, I think, Korean and not Japanese, so they changed it to the Korean word for short sword.
Okay, if that was the only thing we're doing here, I might have misunderstood the direction.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, just things get cut for time in a movie adaptation, so their backstory was one of those things. Like, it happens, what are you going to do? They also cut Dido's death, because he died in the book, and then they let him live in the movie.
They also made that race kind of funny. Yeah,
the movie, like... I have plenty of complaints about the movie, but I still... What? Oh, yeah,
backwards.
Yeah, like that. I get that that's more visually exciting, but I don't know.
Well, the movie entirely confuses me because, I'm bad at names. Who's the best friend? Who's actually a girl?
H.
How are they poor?
What do you mean?
In the movie, they make cars, like they make the Batmobile and sell it type shit.
Yeah.
People live in the Oasis and pay real money for these things.
Technically, it's more that Oasis currency is used as money in the real world.
That is the same thing with different words.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of money for the Batmobile type shit.
Yeah.
So why are you poor?
Was H poor? I don't think she was.
Pretty sure in the movie they're still poor.
Well, she was living in like a van and shit. But like I'd assume, because what I would assume is that all the money she gets, she spends on shit in the Oasis, not anything in real life.
While being best friends with Wade, who is poor. Dirt poor.
If I remember correctly, the book acknowledged that somewhere, and it was like a point of pride of his that he wouldn't take her money. Or maybe in the book version she didn't have as much money, but in the movie
I'm pretty
she did.
sure that's the thing. She didn't have the money in the book. In the movie, we introduced a surplus of money that fucks up a lot of plot.
Yeah, because in the book she was richer than Wade, but not by much.
Exactly. And like, sure, in the movie you introduce her literally doing a service that is akin to like the highest tier GTA vehicles.
Yeah, that's kind of odd, I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't really think of it, but yeah, I guess that's weird.
I don't know. I didn't like the book, and then people were like, "Oh, the movie's better." I'm like, "Okay, well, the movie has its own problems."
The movie's better in some ways and worse in others. The movie, I honestly, and this is somewhat topical, I feel to a lesser extent the same way about Ready Player One, the movie, as I do about Stranger Things, where it has plenty of shortcomings you could rightfully point out, but it's done with such genuine feeling that a little part of you is like, all right, I'll give it to him. Like, Stranger Things definitely falls into the member berries category often, but it's played very genuinely, and so it speaks to me.
I think I watched the movie, and having already read the book, I'm like, oh, so I see the slaves in the background this whole time.
Yeah, well, true. Though, again, you know, and I'm sure that this was implied at the end of the first book and confirmed at the beginning of the second, that the very first thing Wade did when he got all that money and power was get rid of that.
What do you mean by that?
Well, because under his leadership, the company acquired IOI, and literally the first thing they did when they acquired IOI was get rid of the slavery.
Okay, but like, it's you can still, someone else can just do it.
I think the implication is that at this point he controls so much of the tech market that there is none anymore, which is its own problem. Don't get me wrong.
Level of dictator Wade. Oh yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Well, yeah, he acknowledges that. That's part of why he hates this shit. Like, that's part of why his dream is to get on a ship and leave Earth, because he doesn't want to deal with it.
You have to deal with it.
Well, yeah,
and that's to win the challenge.
And that's the less. Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Is like, so in the first book, you know, he believes that Earth is past saving, and what he wants to do is make fucking space arcs and ship everyone off to space, right?
I do.
And then what?
I said I do love me a space arc. I pitched to you. I want the space arc Pluribus.
Yeah. So he says that to Artemis, and she's like, "That's kind of fucking pessimistic, isn't it? Wouldn't it be better to like fix this planet that we're already on?" And he's like, "Yeah, you know, maybe if it could be done, I'll take that." And so then in the second book, when they've broken up and they've each done different things with their money, she has spent a ton of her money fixing this planet. He fell back into the pessimism and started building the like knowledge arc with all of humanity's fucking data and everything.
It's almost like a lot of his benevolence wasn't really benevolence, but oh, I met a girl.
Well, yeah, he's an asshole. That's the point. He's a fucking lonely, awkward dork who's never had sex or talked to a real human being in fucking 10 years.
So kill the character off, damn it. Treat him like the... who's the Game of Thrones character with the dogs?
I've never watched Game of Thrones, so I don't know.
Oh,
I'm glad I haven't now, too, because I heard how it ended.
I have the weirdest Game of Thrones headcanon.
What's that?
Oh, do you actually want to hear this?
Sure, yeah.
I hope to God that George R.R. Martin puts this out. And if he doesn't, then I will. but this is what I think the idea is. What
What happens when an adaptation outpaces the original text? True. That's why I'm glad they're doing Last of Us 2 as like 3 seasons of TV instead of 1.
Facts. What is the Game of Thrones, Larry?
Like literally speaking, it's the game over who gets the Iron Throne. Well, game.
That was never said.
Okay, that's what I have
said.
assumed for 10 fucking years.
And that is what I think is the biggest fucking point here. And I think now, when I pointed out that the adaptation outpaced the original text, but George R.R. was super involved, especially at the beginning in this.
Yeah.
And they asked him for a lot of they asked him, is this okay? Can we name it this? Can we do this? You called it A Song of Ice and Fire. What do we call it? And they came with the name A Game of Thrones.
Well, that was the name of the first book, so that's why.
No, the first book is A Song of Ice and Fire.
Well, that's the name of the series, but the first book in the series is titled A Game of Thrones.
That is true. But what is the Game of Thrones?
Again, I assumed it was the, jostling for power over, or jockeying for power over who gets the throne.
Here's my proposition. It is itself a battle between the gods. It is a game of thrones.
The throne of heaven. Okay.
The throne of heaven is being fought over through mortals in a giant chess match that is unseen. Here is my evidence. Let's look at the teams we got here. We have the Faceless God. He specifically doesn't team with any of the other gods, but we know he exists. We have the Fire God guy. What's his name? Well, the Fire Priestess is for him, and he gives Stannis Baratheon a giant sword of flame. So we know he's real. He's doing.
I've never watched Game of Thrones, so I'm just taking your word for all of this.
Okay, yeah, we have one guy who he takes sacrifices and he gives out flames.
Okay.
We have the standard religion of the nation, which is the Seven. You played like Skyrim or any other standard thing where Pantheon.
Yeah.
You have the old gods of the North, who we don't exactly know, but we know there's faces on trees. People worship this, and the fairies had something to do with this.
Thank you, Wadley.
Damn, I'm just coming at this for everyone blind.
Yeah.
But you have all of these, and you also have gods of other nations. You have a sunken god, and they're all sending these people to try to conquer each other. And they're all doing it in the name of one thing or another. Sometimes these books and these stories don't even focus on the Iron Throne. They're in other places. It can't all simply be for that one chair in that one city. It's kind of just south bumfuck of this one continent when we know there's more and we go to others. We got dragons. You think I care about one chair? Dragons are their whole own team. I don't know. I just hope we eventually get those books going in a whole other direction, saying, haha, you thought it was this.
Look, the dragons are coming. All right? They're coming.
One of the best South Park bits to ever exist.
Wiener, 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 wiener.
Wiener, 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 wiener.
God damn it. What was I going to tell you about fucking John Dies at the end? You were talking about Ender's Game and you said something and I literally said, remind me to tell you something about that later.
Hive minds.
No, not hive mind.
Psychic communication.
No, that wasn't it.
Tricking children.
No.
Gotta take care of this egg.
No.
My brother beats me up.
Oh, I do. Okay, I remember. So the whole thing with Ender beating up his bully. There's a thing kind of like that in John Dies at the end. where he and they never really tell the whole story of how this worked out. We just get like the short version of it. He's willing to tell his girlfriend.
Mm.
So the main character, I guess he was adopted as a kid,
Nice.
but like never really got on with the parents who adopted him.
Oh.
Like he did, but like not really, because like the guy who is legally his father, he'll go like, yeah, well, yeah, I guess he's my dad, but like, yes, nice. So, when he was in high school, some bullies had been picking on him. He never says what they did to him, and he tells his girlfriend, "I will never tell you what they did." But whatever it was fucking bad. Because the next day he brought a knife to school and gouged the fucking eyes out of the bully who was the leader. And it was a big thing. His dad, who I guess, like I said, is a lawyer, kind of like worked a little bit of magic and got it so that he didn't get arrested for it, but he got like transferred to the fucking alternative school or whatever.
I'd like to think it was something silly, like they took his Tickle Me Elmo and put it in a jar of pickles and called it Pickle Me Elmo.
The way he talked about it, it was something bad. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that's based on real life, because the character is a very intentionally an author avatar, and like everything else he writes about that character I know to be true, so I wonder if there's like some real life basis to it. But you got to read those fucking books, by the way. You'd be all over
I
them.
really need to.
I don't know if it would still be my favorite book I've ever read, but the first one when I was 17, it was my favorite book I'd ever read in my whole life. Just because it's so fucking completely batshit insane.
If you don't got space prostitute slaves, I don't know, man.
What are your thoughts on actors who refuse to interact with the source material of an adaptation they're in? It depends.
I think it is over righteous.
I agree. Well, it depends on what you mean by refuse to interact. Because if by that you just mean like the fact that Pedro Pascal has never played the Last of Us games, like that's one thing. But if he held them in like disdain, that'd be different.
I don't know specific examples, but I know often it's like, oh, I'm not gonna read this book. I'm not gonna watch the original fucking Wonka so I don't get interacted type shit. Like,
yeah, like supposedly Bryan Singer fucking banned X-Men comics from the set of the first X-Men movie.
That is okay. At that point, we are using the name and a property that we know and love. If we wanted to make an original, complete new art, we shouldn't use that name. We shouldn't coast off those laurels if we're not willing to interact with the source material that built the laurels on which we are standing.
Yeah. Whereas on the other hand, like Pedro Pascal, he didn't refuse to play The Last of Us. He just didn't grow up playing video games and therefore cannot work a fucking game controller.
Yeah, that's fine. But like, realistically, someone should have played it and had him sit next to them.
Walton Goggins recently said he hasn't and refuses to play any of the Fallout games. Question. So I don't know the context. Maybe he's being a dick about it. Maybe he's got some reason.
I know the context. I know. Okay. The ghoul.
Yeah.
So ghouls have existed in Fallout since the beginning. It's zombies with extra steps.
Yeah.
We got two versions of zombies. We got feral zombies, obviously, and we got non-feral zombies. We don't use the word zombies because people use it as a derogatory term, but they're not all feral, so we say ghouls.
Yeah.
Now, Walter Goggins starts in season 1 as a ghoul who's been buried underneath the fucking ground for a lot of time.
Yeah, and he's like the gunslinger, right? Like I've seen the
decades and decades. We don't know how many. It doesn't matter. No, it doesn't, because it's dumb. He's hooked up to an IV or some shit. We don't fucking know. And from this, he just goes and acts like a gunslinger in like a Western movie.
Yeah.
Now, He's the only goddamn ghoul we've seen in this entire fucking show. So he kind of carries like racial weight, like obviously not like real racial, but like fictional racial weight on his back.
Upon more reading, he says he doesn't want to play the games until he's done playing this role. I do get that.
He's a ghoul though. He should know what it means to be a ghoul.
Well, I'm sure he does, but like
Why? How?
I think what he's getting at is that he's an actor, like, because a lot of actors are like that, where they're like, okay, I am playing this role in this movie. I don't care how it was played before. I don't care how it's traditionally done. I don't want my decision to be tampered with. And I get that, even if I don't always agree.
I don't understand how you can make a decision if you don't. Okay, because like, what are you playing? He's playing a ghoul, which is a Fallout character thing. It's not like you're playing a random dude named Randall.
It's also possible that maybe he hasn't played the games, but was given like a lore Bible on ghouls for like by production. They do that a lot.
Possible. It would be nice if he said that. I'd feel a lot more comfortable with this sort of I'm not going to play it mentality. But without that, okay. How are you not just playing any character then, based off of this?
I hate to use the fucking Turf Queen as an example, but like when they were when they were casting the first Harry Potter movie, there's a famous story about how she told Alan Rickman Snape's backstory, which is something she hadn't written by that point.
Yeah.
Like, so that he was the only other person who knew, so that it would inform his acting decisions and all that.
Yeah, he's not playing a character that's already been he's getting it from the source. He's not.
Yeah. Now, unfortunately, that did have the unintended side effect of making him give a performance that was so good that it fooled everybody into thinking that Snape isn't a fucking wizard Nazi.
I mean, I don't know. I might just argue that JK's writing's bad. He's
True.
not necessarily a wizard Nazi. He's like...
Well, he is canonically a wizard Nazi.
What do you mean by that?
Like, he was literally a Death Eater, and he only defected because he was in love with Lily. Like,
sure, but like, okay, calling them wizard Nazis is more... Okay, when I hear Death Eaters, I start to get a Magneto sense of like, maybe we can do everything.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not of that type. It's because J.K. Rowling's not that good a writer. No, it's literally like we want to subjugate the non-magical people type of shit. Or really, they don't even make it that fucking far. They make it to like we want to subjugate the good guys, and that's as far as they make it.
Okay, but like, what's the alternative? Like, we're not wizard Nazis. We just have wizard Jew stereotypes running our banks.
Yeah, it's Harry Potter, dude. Fucking like,
exactly.
It's a book for children.
Everyone's a wizard Nazi. This guy's not a wizard Nazi by comparison to everyone else.
Anyway, my point is that between Alan Rickman being such a good actor and the movies cutting out a ton of the worst stuff Snape did, it leaves a casual viewer with the impression of like, oh, Snape is this roguish anti-hero with some good deep down. And it's like, no, in the books, he's like a bigoted piece of shit who just happens to have been in love with the main character's mom.
I just don't get how that's not most of like the wizarding institution in that world.
Oh, well, it is. And again, because these books aren't very good. I hate to profile them Dementors, but I wouldn't have trusted them to run Azkaban, even had I not looked at the wiki page and saw their loyalty was to Voldemort. Yeah, that's true. But like, so I was thinking about this example the other day. There's a scene in Prisoner of Azkaban. Oh yeah, here we go. I absolutely despise JK's racist trope names for the minority characters. That's a whole other fucking episode.
Wacky.
So there's a moment in Prisoner of Azkaban when the werewolf shows up.
Cho
Chang.
Thank you. I sound terrible because I'm like, yeah.
So when the werewolf shows up in Prisoner of Azkaban, there's a moment that's only in the movie, that's not from the book, where Snape, who's the curmudgeonly asshole who hates all the kids, immediately stands between the kids and the werewolf with his wand outstretched. And everyone like thinks of that moment as like, oh, it's an early hint at Snape's depth. And it's like, yeah, it is for the movie version. That scene's not in the fucking book.
Okay, I guess why am I supposed to hate him more than I hate, say, Dumbledore?
Well, that's a good fucking argument. And even like I don't know if this scene's in the book, but in the final movie, in the flashback, Snape says, "You've been raising Potter like a pig for the slaughter. You saved him all those times so he'd be alive to die at the proper fucking moment."
So, like, I don't know. I just don't like. Everyone sucks.
Also, as One-Eyed Punk just pointed out, one of the fucking Ministry of Magic dudes is a black guy named Kingsley Shacklebolt. The Irish kid is Seamus Finnegan who keeps blowing stuff up. All right, now to be fair, that
No.
would be hysterical to me if anyone except a British person made it.
Here's one that I don't think's talked about a lot. So I'm Irish.
Yeah,
The Weasleys.
yeah.
Tell me if I'm wrong.
I think you've said this to me before, but go on.
The message I understand from the Weasleys is all Irish people, because they're all redheads, are Catholics. And I know they're Catholics because they fuck a ton and they never use condoms and have a bunch of kids. They're too poor to be able to raise them. And so they have to rely on a bunch of weird things to kind of bring them up. But it's ragtag and it's fun, so we deal with it.
Yeah.
That's problematic as fuck.
Yup.
Like, dude.
J.K. Rowling definitely has a noble savage view of the Irish.
But let's get even more fun with the Weasleys. Because even if we're going to ignore the racist trope for 1 second, why is it that our hero, he's loaded? Like, we know this from Story Jump. That's like part of our stories. He's loaded, right?
Yeah. Well, loaded is relative, but he certainly never doesn't have the money for anything
What do you
throughout the
mean?
series.
They bring him to his bank vault, and it's like, Scrooge McDuck.
Well, yeah, but like I would assume the Weasleys are richer, type of thing.
They live on a poor farmhouse.
No, that's the that's not the Weasleys, the Malfoys rather. I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. I would assume the Malfoys are richer than Harry is.
See, this is where I just question, does JK not understand how money affects the world?
No, she doesn't. She's not very good at writing.
Because, okay, the Malfoys are, you would only argue they're rich because they give this noble class bullshit. Like, I'm part of the aristocracy.
Yeah, well, we
But-
see their house later too, and it is like a giant mansion. So
Okay, sure. So let's argue the fact that Harry already owns a house. We forgot about that. Shows up later in the movies.
oh yeah, he does.
You forgot.
To be fair,
got
he
left
didn't know that
two-
till later, but
He got left 2 fortunes, literally 2 separate fortunes, dude. His parents' fortune and the entire Black estate
yeah.
are both owned by Harry Potter. 2 aristocracy level mage families. He is fucking loaded.
Yeah,
And-
once he inherits Sirius's estate, he probably is.
He already had Sirius's estate because they thought he was dead.
Well, no, they thought Sirius was alive. He was in prison.
But didn't he already have the stuff?
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, I don't think Harry technically inherited Sirius's estate till after the 5th.
Oh, true. Okay.
But yeah, by
Oh.
that point, he probably is quietly as rich, if not richer, than the Malfoys.
Oh, okay. Well, that's perfect because that's the exact time that he's living with the Weasleys for free all the time, never giving them a cent, never upgrading or helping their home.
I think the book specifies that he kept trying and the Weasleys kept refusing, but that might just be cope.
That also might just be writing Irish people as a certain thing.
Yeah. Well, I said, so have you seen Harry Potter and the Stone? Have you ever seen that?
A long time ago.
It couldn't have been that long. It only came out last year.
Oh, wait, no, sorry. I'm thinking of Wizard People, Dear Reader.
No, that's a different thing. No, Harry Potter and the Stone is a fan film made by like an art collective of college students. It was a shot-for-shot remake of the first movie made on a budget of like maybe $3,000.
Oh.
So it's actually really funny, like how they adapt shit, and of course they make little tweaks to the dialogue to make jokes, and they do all kinds of shit. Um, but so when I watched it, it's such a close remake of the first movie that it kind of felt like watching the first movie again because they recreate all the camera moves and the musical cues and everything. It's fucking amazing, honestly. And like the plot structure and everything. And I'm watching it, I suddenly had this epiphany. Harry Potter's opening status quo is a child's idea of an abusive household.
Oh yes, we talked about this
Yeah.
because
I need to see this fan film. Reminds me of those guys who did Raiders of the Lost Ark on a tiny budget. True, but it's more overtly comedic. Like there are intentional jokes added to this one.
No, Larry, you don't understand. He was under the stairs, and he didn't get a bunch of presents on Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's a child's idea of, but like, okay,
No,
so Harry was.
You don't understand. You don't understand. They did not look at him the same way they looked at their own blood child.
Yeah, and that's tragic. But like the
Is it?
Dursleys didn't love Harry, right? Like they kind of said that out loud his whole fucking life.
It's such bad writing with JK that sometimes I don't know how much to put into it. Because, like, if you were reasonable, you would say they actually loved him a ton because they were trying to keep him from the obvious tragedy that befell the entire family.
That was my idea. I was saying
not the she's not that deep.
The Dursley should have been overprotective, and the reason Dudley bullies him is because he's jealous because he feels like his parents love Harry more than him.
She's not that deep.
But so like, I mean, I know you've witnessed it yourself from other people, if nothing else. A real life abusive household for a child is shit like I'm 15 and I don't know how to wipe my ass because I was neglected, or like I have to fucking wear my hair to cover the bruises on my face.
Real life abusive household is Harry Potter is sitting in the kitchen while the Weasleys are making breakfast, and one of the brothers goes and starts washing dishes. Harry immediately gets up, starts cleaning the entire thing, and apologizing to everyone because they're clearly mad at him because they're washing the dishes to show their anger with him. Yeah. That's some that's some real abusive household shit. The fuck are we talking about?
Yeah, the fucking. By the way, he was like an infant when he was left on their doorstep. If they didn't love him, why didn't they just fucking drop him off at the fire station or Christ, like drown him in the fucking tub if you're feeling ruthless? No, really, like if they hate this fucking kid, why are they taking care of him?
No, you don't understand because, like, by the way, I'm not sure if Americans understand this. They don't seem to be that well off. They're in like general government housing, right?
It's not government housing, but it's one of those like cheaply made blocks where all the houses look identical.
Maybe they couldn't afford a fucking bedroom for you, Harry. Well, they did the best they could.
Sadly, that isn't true because the second book, if not earlier, does confirm that there is another bedroom. They just won't let him sleep in.
Well, what do they use it for?
It's Dudley's second bedroom. And then in the second book, they let him use it because they're afraid of him.
That's just I'm sorry, that's actually just funny. That's
funny bullying. No, the Dursleys, at least as described, exactly, English Levittown. They're described as being like, now granted, England's definition of well-off is different than ours, but like, the implication is that they're like the upper end of working class, if nothing else. Like they own a car and a lot of their neighbors don't, type of thing.
They get to eat meat every week.
Well, yeah. So, yeah, like Harry, so fucking, if they hate this kid, like they're feeding him. Now, granted, they're like being dicks and maybe it's not very tasty, but they're feeding him. They're giving him clothes, even if they are just his cousin's hand-me-downs.
Didn't they take the kid to the zoo? Am I overthinking this, or didn't they take the kid to the zoo?
That is true. Now, granted, many a parent has gotten stuck taking a kid they don't like somewhere. But, like, they could have left his ass home alone.
Kids to impress people, sure.
Yeah, he has fucking glasses. So they clearly, like, took him to an optometrist at some point. Though, as one of my friends pointed out, it's possible they got him glasses because they were just sick of him not fucking knowing where shit was and knocking things over. And I guess that's fair. But Like, again, why not just drown him in the fucking tub if you don't like this kid?
It's England. You can drown a kid in the tub. They'll let
Yeah.
you live.
It's like, oh my god. Anyway, there's one thing I want to discuss before we go, and that is that I watched a very odd movie the other night called Eraser.
What? You know, okay. I just have to say this. You know how there's Eraser head?
Yeah,
That guy's head shaped like an eraser.
it is.
Why?
Because that's how Arnold was cutting his hair back then. So the reason it's called Eraser is because he's a witness protection agent who is like an
Okay.
exceptionally good one, and so when he erases you, it means he fakes your death and creates a new identity for you. Now, in real life, witness protection agents don't look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they're more about bureaucracy and, you know.
Listen, I saw My Blue Heaven. I know how
Yeah.
the witness protection works.
So so that's not how it works in this movie. He's like a super badass FBI guy who like bursts into buildings and gunfights and like multiple times in the movie blows up a house to fake someone's death. So that's clearly like a normal thing he does.
I don't get Arnold. I just don't get him.
So anyway, the plot is that there's this woman played by what the fuck is her name?
Ooh.
Vanessa Williams, who like she's only got a little bit of black ancestry, but something about the way the light hits her makes her look black in every fucking scene in this movie. That's not anything, it's just an observation. What's funny is during that scene where he and James Caan go on a raid with their team, Caan looks like the real life agent, while Arnold looks like the super agent, and they're supposed to be partners. Yeah, that's one of the things I'm going to get to, Wadley, is the fact that all the other WITSEC agents look how you'd expect them to look in real life. They're just like kind of middle-aged dudes in suits.
That's why I don't get Arnold. He just doesn't look like a human being.
He sticks the fuck out in every scene he's in.
He doesn't look like a person.
Well, so later on, like near the end, he needs help, so he goes to the guy he rescued in the opening scene. Because in the opening scene, in order to establish how it works, he rescues a dude. And the dude tells him, look, man, if you ever need me, you call me, okay? Like, I owe you one for this. And he, of course, does the, you'll never see me again, enjoy your new life, and don't cause trouble. But then he does need this guy's help. And this guy used to be in the Mafia, so he has connections to the Mafia still. So there's a whole scene where this guy and a bunch of Mafia dudes are like trying to work out a deal, and it feels right at home in like fucking Goodfellas or Casino or a movie like that. Like these are really authentic looking, sounding, acting Mafia dudes with fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger standing in the corner.
Oh my god.
He, especially in this era, he brings like an unavoidable surreality to any fucking scene he walks into.
That's why I don't get using him as an actor. He stands out like a sore thumb.
Which is not a bad thing in many roles. And honestly, and we can talk about this extensively in the future, I think Arnold Schwarzenegger is an underrated dramatic actor. I think he has legitimate talent that gets shown every now and then.
I'm going to need examples, but I'm going to pitch to you a buddy movie between Schwarzenegger and Hasselhoff.
That would have been good. If you want an example, I won't get into it too much, but ironically, the easiest example for me to point out is one of the shitty movies he's in, Terminator Dark Fate.
Give me the details.
So, okay, I'll go on a little tangent about Terminator Dark Fate. Spoilers for Terminator Dark Fate to everyone in the audience. So John Connor fucking dies in the opening scene.
No.
He dies for real. It fucking horrific deep fake of Edward Furlong getting his fucking neck blown out by Terminator with a shotgun.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, so that's like a flashback to the 90s, obviously, and then the rest of it takes place in like, I think it's 2022, which was several years in the future when the movie came out, but it's supposed to be like the very near future. So Arnold in this movie plays a Terminator who succeeded in his mission, killing John Connor.
Okay.
We've never seen a Terminator succeed in their mission before.
No.
Yeah, and so one, the time machine was one way, and two, thanks to the events of T2 altering history, the future Arnold's from doesn't even fucking exist anymore.
So you can't go back.
Yeah, so what do you do? So the answer is he just kind of wound up wandering around, basically, and like walking the earth like Kane from Kung Fu. And then eventually he meets this, I think she's Mexican.
Did you just say he was a bad motherfucker?
Yes. So anyway, he meets this, I think, Mexican woman with an infant who's fleeing her abusive husband.
Okay.
So this is what we hear. Like, we don't see flashbacks, but so he protected her from her abusive husband, and so she and her infant son kind of took him in because he had nowhere else to go. And through being part of their weird little family, he essentially grew a conscience. Like, he learned what a conscience was and learned how to feel it, basically. Like, as much as
a better empathy story than Ready Player 2.
Yeah. So, through growing the conscience, he realized how horrible it was that he killed John Connor. So what he has been doing for the past, 20 years is using an anonymous phone number, she has no idea it's him, sending Sarah Connor the location, the times and places the Terminators will show up. Because he can, roughly track when and where they'll show up because of, how some bullshit. He can determine that, within this 4-day period, within this 5-mile radius, there will be a Terminator appearance. That kind of thing.
That shit. Yeah, I get that.
So he's been sending her those anonymously with the message for John for 20 years by this point. So they go to his house and he explains all this. He's made a whole normal ass life as a carpet and drapes dude with his own business. His name is Carl. They seem to, because at one point he's criticizing somebody's technique. So, but anyway, so he's grown a whole ass life, and they come to him and he knows he has to help them, and so he sends his family away for safety. And after they drive off, the other characters say to him, "What'd you tell them?" Because they don't know he's a fucking robot from the future, of course. And by the way, they do hand wave away some of the questions about that, because Sarah Connor says, "How come your wife never noticed you weigh 400 pounds and don't sleep?"
Don't worry about it.
And he says, "Our relationship isn't physical. She appreciated the fact that I could change diapers efficiently and without complaining."
Okay.
So, I don't know, maybe she's asexual too, I don't know. But anyway, the point is he sends them away, and they ask, "What'd you tell them?" And he says, "I told them that the day I've been prepared for has come and that I won't be coming back." And then they ask, "Do you love them?" And he just kind of looks off into the distance for a minute and he says, "Not like a human would. I used to think that would make this day easier. It doesn't." And it's really hard to do that while still sounding like a robot, but still emoting. And Arnold fucking pulls it off. It's so insane. Half of Terminator Dark Fate is really fucking good like that, and then the other half is generic legacy sequel Ghostbusters bullshit.
Huh. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to give it a watch.
Yeah, it's worth watching at least once. For the half of it that's really good.
You heard it here, folks. It's worth watching at least once.
There's also a great scene where Linda Hamilton gets to remind you that she's a real actress. Where she... well, what I mean is that she isn't typecast as fucking sci-fi.
Okay.
So she figures out that it's the same Terminator because he has a scar on his face from where she emptied a fucking handgun into his face. And
no, you normally do it.
Yeah, and of course he's a Terminator, so that does nothing other than leave a cut like this. So there's a scene where she's sitting in the, because his house is in the woods, of course. So she's sitting on a log, and then the new main character comes up, and she confesses to this character that she never took a single photo of John, because she was convinced that if there's no photos of him, it'll be harder for them to find him. So she has no baby photos, no anything of her son.
Damn.
But they found him anyway, and he's fucking dead. And so now it's been 20 something years since she saw his face, and now she's struggling to remember his face.
That's fucking sad.
Yeah. And as for what Wadley said here, it is much better than Rise of the Machines, except for the finale of that movie. And Terminator Genisys is legitimately one of my least favorite movies ever, so you will never have to convince me that a movie is better than Terminator Genisys.
Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium.
I've never seen it. It's got to be better.
I don't know, man.
On the similar subject of bad Terminator movies that have great elements, the last 5 minutes of Terminator 3 is fantastic. The rest of the movie isn't that great, but the last 5 minutes are fucking top notch.
I had a date who was like that once.
Yeah, true, but I don't think. Well, your date probably ended with a small explosion, not a nuclear explosion that kills half the planet. But
Listen,
have you seen Terminator 3?
I was just gonna say some of our listeners might be pro-life, but
I don't care.
But, no, I have not.
So, at the end of Terminator 3, John Connor and Kim, who's like fated to be his wife in the future, which then the next movie confirmed that did happen. So they're fleeing from everything. Skynet's about to fucking take over and launch the nukes. And Kim's dad, who's like an Army Corps of Intelligence, whatever the fuck general, he gives them like a key and he says, go to this bunker at whatever place. From there are computers you can use to stop Skynet. And they're like, sweet. So they fucking rush there and they burst into this underground fallout bunker. Multiple meanings of that. Because it was built in the 60s. So it's like really fucking old fashioned shit. Like even the aesthetics are really 60s Fallout looking.
Okay.
And they realize there is no computer here that can stop Skynet. He sent us here so we wouldn't die.
Were there cans of Spam?
Well, yeah, like there's food under there and everything.
Nice.
They don't have to stay there forever. Just like
Salisbury
for the initial, probably. So anyway, they realize that it's impossible to stop it. The Judgment Day is inevitable, which sucks because it contradicts the second movie. Anyway, the nuke goes off. They watch it all on the screens. They're like, oh, fuck, everything's changed. And the phone rings. And John picks it up, and he says, hello. And they say, hey, this is, General whoever. Like, what the fuck's going on? And he says, what's your name? My name is John Connor. And then they say, Connor, who's in command down there? And he kind of pauses and says, I'm in command, sir. And the movie kind of ends there. Like, it's him accepting his fate to be the leader of the human resistance and all.
Huh.
So it's a great fucking scene at the end of an otherwise pretty bad movie. And yeah, 3 does negate the fuck out of 2's legacy, as Wadley is saying here, which is why it sucks for the most part. It also gets a really basic fucking fact about John Connor wrong, which is his age.
How?
So he, in the second, despite the fact that Edward Furlong was 13 or so when he played the role, John Connor's only supposed to be like 10. Like if you do the math. And they even show his fucking computer file in that movie from the cop car because he's got a record already. And it says, like, date of birth, something, 1995. And they never say, today is 1995, but then it says, blah, 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 1985 birth date. And then later in the movie, Arnold says, 2 years from now, Judgment Day happens on so-and-so date, 1997. So anybody with even basic math skill goes, oh, so John Connor's 10 years old then. Right?
Yeah.
And then in the third movie, when he's narrating at the beginning, he says, they tried to kill my mother before I was born. When I was 13, they tried to kill me.
I don't know. People don't care. No one cares about source material.
Now, I do like the third movie depicts John at the beginning as being like a homeless drifter with no purpose in life because he doesn't know what the fuck to do with no Judgment Day. That's interesting. You know what would have been a way better Terminator 3? There's just a leftover Terminator from when they sent Terminators back.
Hmm.
Because the Well, I mean, that's kind of what happens in Dark Fate is that they sent many Terminators back to just various points in the timeline.
Well,
So
just
that's
fucking do it.
yeah, so that's why they'll occasionally just pop up places.
They're like synths in Fallout.
Yeah. Now the amazing, by the way, video game Terminator Resistance from a few years ago goes the opposite direction and confirms that the reason they didn't send T1000s to every fucking place is because they literally only had one.
Why?
Because it was a one of a kind prototype they were still working on.
Oh,
Yeah, so at the end of that game is the
won't you
final
eventually have
battle.
more?
What?
Won't you eventually have more though?
They were literally sending them through the time machine as the Resistance was breaking down the door.
Okay.
It was a last ditch fucking Hail Mary move.
Okay, I get you.
So the final level of that game is the big final battle that they showed snippets of in T2 and everything. And at the end of it, you know that a Terminator you fought earlier in the game is from the future, by the way.
Hmm.
Like the near future from like a month in the future.
Okay.
And so at the end of the game, when you get to the time portal, you capture it, and John Connor's there talking to you, and he explains, we managed to stop most of it, but they got 3 Terminators through. One was the one you and I fought together last month, one sent to 1984 to attack my mother, and one sent to 1995 to attack me.
Nice.
Yeah. That game is fucking great. They also confirmed that the place that Skynet gets the likenesses of humans is from fucking human resistance soldiers they kill or capture.
That's fucking great.
Yeah, because at one point you find one of their experiment labs and there's like a half dissected dude on the table and he looks like Robert Patrick.
That's sick.
Yeah, they're like they put that in so that you'd go like, oh, that's where they got the T1000's likeness.
That's how they did it.
Yeah. It's a fucking awesome game, dude.
Dude, I'm sold. I'm sold.
Yeah. Like, it's more the story I love than the gameplay, because the gameplay is like, shooter type, but it's still fun.
Yeah.
But
Well,
just,
lore is lore.
yeah, they confirm like theories of mine I've had about Terminator for a while. Like the one that it was like a last ditch effort and
Speaking of lore, do you know what it's time for?
what? Oh, Pluribus, yeah. Okay, so before we do that, I just want to talk about Eraser, because I went off on that Terminator tangent for half an hour.
Oh yeah, shit. Sorry.
So, no, it's fine. That was my fault. I could have not done it. So, Eraser, he's witness protection, looks completely out of place, as I was saying. This movie is weirdly, stunningly critical of the U.S. government in a way that I feel like was by accident.
How so?
This movie, very much its intention was to be a generic action movie. And for the most part, it is, at least aesthetically. But the whole reason the plot gets kicked off is because this woman, fucking Vanessa Williams, she works at like a tech company that, among other things, do weapons. Like, that's not necessarily what she does there, but like, they do that. And they were building this fucking, a railgun like they have on ships? They were building basically a really powerful handheld version of that. Or not handheld, but like the size of a sniper rifle.
I love to see it.
Which, by the way, she says that the beams fire at close to the speed of light, which is not true at all. So I guess they had a contract with the government to build this weapon, and the government canceled on them and demanded that they throw out all the blueprints they had.
Yeah.
But the CEO of the company, who is played by James Cromwell, he's like, fuck you, I want my money. If you won't buy it, I'll sell it to someone else. Which is, extremely illegal. And she found evidence that was his plan, that she got onto like a disc and everything. So now they're after her, and he has to protect her, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then over the course of the movie, they revealed that literally every single fucking member of WITSEC, except for Arnold, is in on the conspiracy. And it comes across like if it were smarter, it would come across like an intentional indictment of the military-industrial complex.
But no.
But because this movie is otherwise pretty stupid, it instead just comes across like it was an accident.
An accident they can easily mark away with an eraser.
Yeah. It's fucking like... It's so weird. Also, Mark Ralston is in it, which I forgot, who you might recognize as Boggs from The Shawshank Redemption.
Ooh.
Did you know that that movie has 2 Lex Luthors in it?
What?
Yeah, Clancy Brown, who plays Captain Hadley, would later play Lex Luthor in like the Superman and Justice League cartoons. And Mark Ralston, who plays Boggs, would later play Lex Luthor in the Young Justice cartoon.
If I had a nickel for every Lex Luthor who's in Shawshank Redemption, I have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it says something.
Yeah. Also, yeah, so James Caan is in this movie, is in Eraser. And, like, he's James fucking Caan. Like, he gives an amazing performance. He feels
funny.
authentic. All the scenes with the government dudes that Arnold isn't in all feel like scenes from a different, much more serious movie.
It's almost like Arnold doesn't fucking fit anywhere.
Well, he does. He just doesn't fit in this kind of movie. But, like, the movie isn't bad. It's not great. It's probably not even good. But it's fun to watch when you're stoned. And, like, it amuses you. Like, I wrote, they don't suck like they used to.
That's such a low bar. If you want to watch
No,
something
seriously,
fun,
like, the
Yeah.
reason the movie's interesting is because it really shows how different a shitty movie used to be compared to how it is now.
was it considered shitty at the time?
Oh, yeah. Like, there's a reason that the only sequel it got is a direct-to-video sequel 30 years later with none of the cast, which I am going to see when I can find it. I went to the library looking for it yesterday, and an absolutely gorgeous fucking employee helped me put it on hold from wherever.
Did you ask for their number?
Not this time, but I could.
Why don't you read the signs?
What signs? There were no signs. It was a customer service interaction.
Exactly.
But she was very pretty, so that was a nice addition to my day. Anyway, like, so this was a shitty movie in 1996, and it arguably still is. But like, it's shot like a real movie.
Huh.
Like, it's not exceptional cinematography or anything, but like, I can see during the night scenes,
Is it?
the camera always is in focus. The shot is always composed reasonably well. Whereas today, a shitty movie looks like fucking Electric State or the Minecraft movie.
Whoa. 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 The Minecraft movie is the next generation's Rocky Horror Picture Show.
For better or worse.
Chicken Jacket.
I mean, it's Chuck Russell and he gave us The Mask. Yeah, that is true. Like, see, that's the thing, is back then shitty movies at least had, like, DPs who'd done competent work.
Fair. How's your throat? Jesus.
Oh, I just coughed. I just
Okay.
got dry. Thank you, though. Yeah, so I'll share this before we go. So the Minecraft movie. So I watched that. I didn't see it in theaters. I watched it later on.
As you should.
And everybody was saying, like, you know, you're judging it too harshly. It's a movie for kids. It's for 6-year-olds. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to think of it that way. So I put it on. I was like, I am who I was when I was 6 years old. This movie is for 6-year-old me. And then I watch it. And the whole time, I have one thought playing in my head over and over and over again.
Chicken Jacket.
No, before that. When I was 6, I got Spider-Man 2. When I was 6, I got Spider-Man 2. When I was 6, I got Spider-Man 2. So at one point, I paused the Minecraft movie, pulled out my phone, and watched the train fight from Spider-Man 2 on YouTube, and just sat there getting fucking mad that was what I got.
One is made for 6-year-olds. The other is made for families, and you experienced it at 6 years old.
True, but like, I remember that the advertising for that movie, it was very much all over the channels for kids.
Yeah, because it's Spider-Man. It's for the whole family.
Yeah, it is. I'm just saying, like, back then, a blockbuster movie that appeals to children looked like Spider-Man 2. Granted, most of them were nowhere near that good.
I mean, I feel like this is a survivor bias thing because there were a bunch of shitty ones.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there were tons of shitty kids movies that I saw, but like what kids movie? I guess the Superman movie is the closest thing to like a kids movie that's legitimately good and expects the audience to like take it seriously.
My ex made me watch this movie called Drop Dead Fred, and it was a terrible movie.
I have not seen that one.
It was it's about imaginary friends. It's a little creepy.
1991?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then
Oh,
there's
Phoebe Cates, nice.
what was the other one?
Phoebe Cates was fucking hot. I mean, she still is, but Mighty Joe Young was my favorite movie at 4, and that still feels more real than what we get today. Yeah, fair.
I still think the '90s Mario movie is the greatest Mario media to ever come out, and
I've heard that.
The newest Mario movie is an advertisement in 3 trench coats.
Yep.
It's not fair.
I would say The Iron Giant is an example of a great kids movie that respects its audience. True, but Iron Giant came out in 1999. Like, Pixar movies in general respect their audience. I haven't seen all of them. Well, true, that too. I haven't seen every Pixar movie, but the ones I've seen were all like pretty good. But other than that, like, how many good kids movies get made? Not many.
Well, we were talking about one right before stream. The Brave Little Toaster. Who here has been traumatized by the Brave Little Toaster?
This one's not even on Disney Plus.
Oh, it is. Who even made that?
Disney, I think.
Oh, jeez.
Wait, did they? No, maybe not.
It's got good animators, but I don't think it's Disney.
We love thick moms in this house. Question about the Minecraft movie. Did the score treat the audience like kids or adults? Because there's a reason Finding Nemo as a kids movie worked. It sounded like a regular film. Which is why I sampled Thomas Newman. Yeah, that is true. And yeah, you're right. Finding Nemo's musical score sounds normal.
Shrek.
Yeah, but when was last Shrek? Well, yeah, Puss in Boots was a few years ago. So yeah, you're right.
A lot of people like the Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Yeah, but even people who liked it didn't really think of it as like cinema, you know?
But the third one with Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. Anyway, my fucking sinuses are killing me, so I think I'm gonna end this and go watch Pluribus.
Pluribus time. All right.
So,
do we have any predictions?
It's gonna be fucking strange.
What's in the vat? What's in the vat?
Something bad.
I want to see Keanu Reeves as a queen, alien queen.
Good night, everyone. We'll see you on Tuesday.
See you on Tuesday. Keep them buttholes tight. We love thick moms in this house.
We do love thick moms in this house.